that you ever wanted to blend and make it to the end with. Another dream that another human being that careen into the screen and disappear unseen. Another thing that the good earth don't need. Another seed that never breathes. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't let the dream drop high. Hold up and make it lovely, make it real, and make it yours. Don't stop. If you wanna just believe what you wanna believe, then you can leave it up to me and I'll give you the key. It's easy. Just keep on hopping, keep on rocking, and don't start stopping. Now it's everything you need just to water the seed. And if you wanna make it bleed, you can give it to me. I'll grease it. I believe for you. You wouldn't believe what I see in you. So don't stop. Don't let the dream drop high. Hold up and make it lovely, make it real, and make it yours. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't let the dream drop high. Hold up and make it lovely, make it real, and make it yours. Don't stop.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Music Mondays, New Mexico. Really appreciate you guys coming on, tuning in. Today we end up having a very special show for you. This one's kind of interesting because we ended up doing everything remotely. We're still, we want to be able to promote our artists. Anyone that has been striving through trying to create music and, have a voice in the middle of a freaking pandemic. So we're here on a Zoom call actually with Aaron Trumm, great friend, master wordsmith, a little bit of samurai, if you will, when it comes to, how he spins his words. So welcome to the show, Aaron.
Hi, how you doing, guys? And Chris, good to see you. I wish I could be there with you.
I mean, this is the next best thing, oddly enough for 2021. That's where we are. So I'm very excited. You have sent us a bunch of music videos. They look great. One of the things that I personally end up really liking about how you end up approaching at least the music that I've seen is you end up having very much this visual art aspect to it. And I feel like that's a very big it's a very big thing, especially with promoting your music and us having the technology that we end up having. So whenever you're writing music, do you end up, is it the song comes first and then you come up with these visual ideas and little aids, everything like that? Or how do you end up really approaching that?
That depends. I mean, both. The thing of emphasizing visuals is pretty new to me, but it's very clear, like you said, in promotion and really in anything regarding music. It's not an art form that stands alone. It actually has never been divorced from a visual element. If you think about, if you go to a concert, you may not be doing multimedia this or having big costumes, But just the very fact that you're standing in the room and people are watching you perform gives the thing a visual element and a visceral element also. So trying to divorce music from other elements of sense is actually, I think, a big mistake that musicians make in trying, especially these days, in trying to sell music, not realizing that throughout the history of the music industry, we've never actually sold music on its own, like divorced from everything else, a little MP3. People don't buy that. So, what they buy is experiences. They buy records, they buy concerts. So as the new music, marketing landscape has come about, we're looking at a situation where you kind of have to be a video artist of some nature. And it could be you're going to get on screen and perform, right? And just make it look decent, or maybe be creative about where you're doing it. So I've started to do that in the past couple of years. And to answer your question, sometimes there's just a song and I'm like, what the hell? How do I make, okay, maybe I'll make a lyric video. I mean, because you don't have $20,000 standing around to make this
easy
thing.
Yeah, let me go to the offshore bank account.
Yeah, right. What? And so, but there are times where it's both, where I'll say, maybe I'll see some visuals in my head and I go, well, what's a song that could do this, right? And I have to say that's actually pretty hard. And I don't know that anything I sent you was made that way. I know that I'm doing that in my head nowadays, but cool. It's so hard because it's like you think of this visual and it's kind of abstract and you say, well, what's the song that goes with that? And I'm frankly not good at that. I'm not good at taking a topic and saying, well, I'm going to write about this topic right now. Usually it goes the other way.
I've been living in a slumberland where I ain't nothing but a nasty man. I've been staying in a dreamy place where I can't remember if I see your face. Maybe you could make it clear for me. I don't know what's going on. And maybe you could make it up to me. I'd love to wake up from this dream now. Come on, come on, come home. Come home to me right now. Come on, come on, come home. Come home to me right now. I don't know if I should say this now, but I've been living on a mountaintop with you. Don't know if I'll be coming down. Don't know if I should leave this town again. And maybe you could bring me down from here. I don't know how high I've been. And maybe you could make it up to me. I'd love to wake up from this dream now. Come on, come on, come home. Come home to me right now. Come on, come on, come home. Come home to me right now. I've been living in a slumberland. 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 I feel like I'm tending to a mountain crop. I can't believe all the loneliness to be up top. I can't remember the last time I came into the morning. Didn't wonder if I was waking up or going back to sleep. Everything I'm doing is a slumber walk. I can't believe that you would ever say that you don't want to talk. So it must be a dream, right? It must be a fake. Maybe take another pill or two and see if I can wait. I wander around town, my eyelids down, and maybe nothing they can say could ever make me come around. So I sleep late, come alive only when it's dark enough. Maybe I can fuck another slut in the nightclub, drinking up, break it up. Maybe I can wake up, maybe I can make another cut in my makeup. Problem is, I don't want to die before I find you. Tear me down, keep it up, I don't really mind, no. Come on, come on, come home. Come home to me right now. Come on, come on, come home. Come home to me right now. Come on,
Hey guys, Aaron here. Just shooting this little video for you because we can't be together in the studio right now. So staying socially distanced. Hope I can see you in the studio soon, but hopefully this'll do. I'm gonna play you the only song I've written in the past year. Quite honestly, it's been a crazy time. It's from March of 2020 is basically when I wrote this, and it's about, when times are dark, and whenever I would look up or look within or whatever and ask for advice about what to do when it's the darkest times, this is the answer that came back, usually. It's called wait. No, it ain't darkest right before the dawn. That's wrong. Just so happens you're gonna notice when the light comes on. But down in the middle, you can't see it. So make no promises when the light's been gone too long. Make no deals, only devils make you bargain for your life. Make no plans, make no changes, make no lies and say no truths. When it's darkest, when it's coldest, you only stand to lose. So wait, weep, sleep, it's gonna be okay. The light comes home every single day. So wait, wait, wait. I know it's crushing you to look out, see no colors, only black. I know you've been there, I know you've done that, I know you want it back. I know you need to hit the light switch, I know you want to find the track. I know the walls are closing in and you can't seem to make a crack. But trust me when I tell you that the light is coming back. So wait, weep, sleep, it's gonna be okay. The light comes home every single day. So wait, wait, wait. And if you need to, you just play it fast and loud. Play it fast and loud. Play it fast and loud. Don't worry about the worry no more. Play it fast and loud. Play it fast and loud. Play it fast and loud. Don't worry about the worry no more. But if you need to take a breather, you need to cry or need to crack, maybe stare into the darkness, see what it loves and what it lacks. Well, that's okay, that's alright. You don't need to hold it back. Just trust me when I tell you that your love is coming back. So wait, weep, sleep, it's gonna be okay. The light comes home every single day. So stay this deep and wait, weep, sleep, it's gonna be okay. The light comes home every single day. So wait, 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 wait.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're a predominantly a keyboard player. Is that how did you get into music?
Oh, that's a good one, man. Yeah, so as far as an instrument, I'd say my first instrument is the studio, and then the piano / keyboard,
Cool.
and or really vocals, as you know, Chris, but everyone else probably doesn't. I started off as a rapper, and then moved, added in poetry performance and spoken word, and then started to get the balls to start singing. And along the way, I took piano lessons when I was a kid, like a lot of people do. And then I went to music camp in 6th grade, and played piano, did the chorus, and I actually played the drum in the band. So all kinds of stuff. I played a little trombone. The real way I got into music is that my dad was a musician. And when I was a tiny kid, before I was born and as a baby and stuff, he actually was a professional gigging musician playing in various little clubs up in Taos, and guitar and vocals is his main thing, and then trombone a little bit. So, it was always sort of that whenever your dad's a musician, you get that kind of, you almost can't help but follow in the footsteps. Yeah. And then later I got into hip hop and rap via a breakdance tape. It was this tape my aunt dubbed off a record and sent me. And I had no idea it was like White Lines and all this Grandmaster Flash stuff, but it was just a tape. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
And then you got into breakdancing because breakdancing got, swept the nation. And
Right.
so I got into hip hop. And, you just, as a kid, I wasn't really intending to be a musician. I was a football player. I wanted to be an athlete. And so, at one point when I was 14, I started, I don't know why I got like a keyboard, little crap, tiny keyboard, and started putting together these things with like the keys. And then I would do what's called pause loop taping, which is, you have a dual well tape deck and you find a beat portion of something where there's just the drums, right? And then you take a blank tape and you go and you record it, and then you pause exactly, and you rewind the other one, pause exactly, and then hit it again. And you create this whole beat, right? 3 minutes or whatever, and then you can overdub. So I started doing that and rapping and thinking, oh man, I'm the best in the world. There's no one that can handle me, of course. That's what 14-year-olds think.
Absolutely.
And it just ballooned from there, college, recording and everything like that.
So that's cool. So essentially you were doing like analog sampling. You were sampling before sampling was like cool, right? That was.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, yes. I didn't realize this. So, the pause loop tape is really, in essence, the same thing as what DJs will do with the turntables. You're gonna have one playing, you rewind the other one while that's playing. Now, if you're a DJ and you got turntables, you're doing this live, right? And in essence, what you're trying to do is just take a piece of this music that's just got the part that you want and then loop it, right? So it's looping. And what we do in the digital audio workstation now, we just copy and paste. So what I didn't realize, and I thought I was inventing this pause loop tape thing, that's actually a thing. Everyone that didn't have record players was doing that. So yeah, that was like the beginning of sampling, was to take either records or tapes and just loop them.
It's amazing, like what we end up having access in our like digital audio workstations at this point, which is so simple, Man, we really screwed up that bass drum track when we recorded the entire drums. Let's just use a different sample. And I really respect recording. You end up hearing the stories about like how the Beatles, when they're in the studio, like some of the crazy stuff that they ended up having to do to end up just getting like this specific sound, when especially this specific sound became this like uncharted territory. Like they were writing the book as they were in there. They're like, I don't know, let's Ringo, just bang the drums with your hands, like stop being so aggressive. I mean, it's only been a 12-hour day. Why can't we get this tone, And so it's kind of cool that, even early on you were sitting there and you were able to like get into the audio and be able to like create these samples just off of analog. That's pretty.
It is cool. And I kind of miss it. I've had mixed feelings about the tech, because now you look in somebody's studio and a lot of times it looks like a spaceship, right? But at the end of the day, making music is just, you're staring at a machine, at a computer, right? And I, personally, that's not how I want to be, staring at a computer. And so, like, you almost miss the days when it was more visceral, when you could take like tapes and crap and big things and mash them and move them. Like say Queen, Queen has stories like that, like the beat or the Bee Gees actually too. The Bee Gees is, beat on Staying Alive is just a 2-bar loop that this drummer did, and then they didn't have him. So they just, in order to put together the song, they just cut it from tape. But they had to reel the tape like far out into the room over a mic stand and just physically make it long. And to make this beat that we now hear is like, this is the classic Bee Gees beat. Same thing with Queen when they did like We Will Rock You. You know, they had to figure out, okay, we're going to put everybody on these bleachers, right? Literally. And then we're going to stomp. And then we have to like, get 6 of us doing that. And we're going to have to do it like 7 times over and over. Now, you know, I just go boom, 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 grab it. It's done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's cool if I have an idea and I want it to get done fast, but it's also kind of not as, sometimes it's not as fun, right? So it's just like not as visceral.
Yeah, it's easier. It's it's easier to like be in the moment when you have to do it 7 times. You're like, God, why? And then it like comes out and it sounds great. So, I love recording. I love talking shop about that. I want to get back to you a little bit. What is the most fun or most abstract thing you've done with any of the songs that you've like sent for us to view today? Was there any weird things that you were just like, you know what? I could always hit delete if this doesn't work.
All of that is the, like, I always hit delete, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That is the cool thing nowadays where it's so much easier and you really can just try stuff and be like, I mean, what does it matter? I'm not wasting tape. So all of it, like I think I sent you the one that's the lyric video called Woo.
Yeah.
And like that just comes to mind because the chorus wasn't the chorus at first. At first, the part that in the song that's the bridge now, I thought was going to be the chorus. And then the part that's this chorus was just this little thing I did at the beginning. And actually, it had a bunch of bad words. It was like supposed to be sarcastic because I was dealing with licensing and I was trying to make a song about a brand new day, but I was feeling really sarcastic about this is cheesy. And so I started saying, hey, mother bleeper, hey, mother bleeper.
Okay.
And then I said, well, what would be the censored version of that I can put for this licensing? And I said, hey, mama llama, right? That's all mother bleeper. And then and then and then that was like cooler. It was like this is actually kind of unique. So we just didn't even use the dirty version. It's just we just threw it away. But that was just like I was just like messing around. It's all like that. They're all like that. going to be like a one-take wonder thing. I hope I even remember the words. I did do this yesterday.
It's been far too long, waiting on the side, watching everything go by. And it's gonna be another world soon, and what am I gonna do with everything? Say shock, talk, get a box, you open your mouth, and ain't nothing you can do to come across, and everything that come out is total nonsense, and everyone you meet just disbelieves. But sometimes people that are mean and well just don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and everybody thinks that they know the path, but the path ain't laid out like that, man. So you make a little map in your mind, and everybody thinks that you're crazy now, cause you sold the car, and you burned the house, and you got rid of all that boo-boo gear, and you walked away with a bag on your back when everybody said that you need to stay put, and you came to the end of the everything, been back around 3 times again, and you ain't found what you're looking for, but that ain't what's pissing you off. You worried that you're running out of time. I don't know what else I can do, but be like me, won't you? Be like you. I don't know what else I can do, but be like me, won't you? Be like you. It's a mystery why we need to be taking the path that we've been taking. Ain't nothing to do, ain't nothing to say, and it don't matter anyway. I'm walking around this path, everybody knows that I can't stray the path. Even if I walk to the end of the world, I can't walk around the way the baby fades, the way it's laid in tape. Cause I'm nothing but a badass man with a badass plan in a badass land, and I don't know what I should do next, but it don't matter none where anybody's coming from. They sold it all, they want it all, and fuck those assholes anyway. Cause I'ma build it up brick by brick, and when I'm done I'm gonna sell it off stick by stick. Cause ain't no hope for a man with a timid plan. Make another bold move, open it'll hold you. And I can tell you that the gold mine don't mean a damn thing when you're at the end of your mind. And the bottom line says that you ain't got time, and it's okay to pretend that you can't be relied upon. But it's gonna be another world soon, and what are we gonna do with everything said? I don't know what else I can do, but be like me, won't you? Be like you. I don't know what else I can do, but be like me, won't you? Be like you.
This is you, Nathan, the booty shake part.
Everybody in the house that's shot, come on and get up and let me see your body rock. They got you running around in a plastic box, all cool down, cut off behind your lock. Show everybody in the house that rocks, come on and get up and let me see your body shock. You don't need no explanation, get up and leave your station. I wanna feel this country rockin' for the rest of my life. Said, I don't know what else I can do, but be like me, won't you? Be like you. I don't know what else I can do, but be like me, won't you? Be like you. I don't know what else I can do, but be like me, won't you? Be like you.
Motherfucker! One take!
In regards to your influences, rap inherently, like it could, you're not pulling in like influences from 50 Cent, like, it's kind of interesting because you are able to kind of choose like some more upbeat, like I listen to your songs and it tends to be a little happier than I would anticipate whenever I sit down and I'm like, I want to listen to, rap. Like I have this vision in my mind as to what I'm going to hear. It's like, me going to the theater and pre-COVID days, going and seeing an action movie, and you're like, All right, there's going to be chicks, there's going to be explosions, and there's going to be an epic gunfight or a car chase or something. You know, you have all of these things that you expect. And so listening to your music, it kind of, you know, you do your own thing, which is always the best, you know, the best part of it. Like we only have so many notes, we only have so many different things that we can do with music, but it's literally our interpretation of the same rules that everyone else is given. So
I like that. Yeah, I like that way of saying that. Yeah.
so what are your influences? I mean, where do you kind of pull from whenever it comes to, you know, how you're going to construct your music? What you, I mean, especially if it's a visual like sort of thing, like you have a message, you know.
Yeah, you pointed out, and I'm kind of glad you pointed out that the things are more upbeat and happy, because that's by design, and that wasn't always the case. You know, if you were to go back and listen to the stuff that I purposefully did not send you, you would see a lot more darkness. And I think hip hop does go that direction. I'm definitely not a hip hop artist at this point. I'm definitely way outside of that tradition as far as where it's turned. My influences, you know, originally were the old school hip hop guys, you know, and then stuff like Rage Against the Machine is like a huge influence, even though you don't necessarily, I don't try to do that, mainly because I don't play the guitar. So I can't do a heavy rock thing unless I team up with somebody like you. And we've done that, you know, you and I have kind of worked on some of that. But in order to do a lot of music, you kind of got to be able to do with what you've got. So I don't play the guitar. I can't. I'm bad. So it ends up I can't be like a lot of the guys I wish I was. Like I wish I was Zach De La Rocha, but I'm really not. And so that's a big, you know, influence. But then all the other old school hip hop guys, and everything was very dark until a few years ago when I realized that I wasn't getting anywhere really on moving anybody and in business either. So you start thinking about, well, what's the way to make money? Well, one good way to make money is via licensing, you know, TV ads. And you've got two different branches when you talk about licensing. You've got your TV, and that's where you can do your sad stuff, you know, and then you got your advertising space and a lot of the TV also calls for more upbeat stuff. And you want to have this messages. And then at the same time, I realized, you know, for my own mental health, you know, when you rehearse a song, how many times you do it, like thousands and thousands. And it turns out when you tell yourself something, even if you don't really believe it to begin with, as you tell yourself that thing over and over again, you are going to start to believe that. So if I'm singing the darkest, most sad, really bad, you know, negative songs to myself over and over and over again, that's going to hurt my psyche eventually. And I decided I would rather be super healthy. So it's not like I'm never ever going to touch on bad stuff again, but there's this impetus both from the business side and from the mental health side to say, hey, what are the things we're about that are more up? And what I realized that the main thing that I'm about is the name of my record label, End Quit, right? I'm about never quitting. Anything's possible, rah. You know, there's a little tinge of anger for me. Like sometimes you see just rah, rah, rah from me, right? But that's different than getting really dark and sad. Like, you know, there are some songs, man, that just maybe more what you would expect as far as the stuff. But I have noticed hip hop's in a different, it's not just darker nowadays. You know, hip hop is way more ethereal nowadays. The production value is way more flowing and there's some cool stuff. There's also some just awful stuff as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as with any genre out there, like the biggest problem with everyone having access to their own home studio is, you know, the amount of yeses that there are, the amount of Wu-Tang clans that there are, the amount of Marvin Gaye's. Like we end up having a million different genres, and then everyone's kind of taking a jab at it. And like there's some really good stuff, and there's some stuff that's literally just there for like for like shock. So especially like some of the like black metal bands from Sweden, and they're talking the most vile things. And like, it's kind of interesting. You're talking about like the mental health and the psyche. I'm thinking of like, Burzum and, some cats like that, where it's just like ridiculously depressing. And I'm like, these guys are from Sweden. Like they literally get a lunch break. Like, what is it, like 1 to 3 or something? They're like, all right, no one works, go out. And I'm like, that's their caveat. They're like, all right, guys, we need to fit in an hour and a half worth of practice and screaming about how miserable, depressing our existence is, but it's like one of the happiest countries in the world.
It's so funny. I mean, there's a long tradition there that I think they're drawing from that has to do with, the winters and the cold and the history of all kinds of Vikings and violence. And it's funny because I think there's a fine line. And I think a lot of people would probably counter my point about repeating, negative stuff to yourself by saying, there's value in expressing what's in there. And I think they would be right to say that. I think, you've got this thing in you. I just don't know that necessarily the thing in you that you need to express, and maybe you need to write down, and maybe you even need to sort of sing it out, necessarily needs to be performed or recorded or put out there, right?
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
And that's something I learned from Poetry Slam. I mean, honestly, that, if you walk in a room and somebody says, I have 4,000 poems released, that those poems suck, because nobody writes 4,000 good poems, right?
Yeah, right.
And you learn, if you're in, this Poetry Slam situation where it's all competition, and I was a professional slam poet, so my living came from being able to win and get features and all of this stuff. So you got to start thinking about curating your work. And so you start to learn very fast that you're going to have to express everything you can on your notebook. Like, I carried a notebook all the time, a little notebook, and I'm writing all the time. Everything I had in my head went in that notebook. So it doesn't stay in your head, it doesn't block the flow. But 99% of what's in that notebook just gets thrown away, burned. Only as the cream of the crop gets performed, because you're under this pressure to actually move this audience. This is not your forum to just say whatever you feel like, however you feel in the moment. It's about them. Right. So at this point, it's also about you. I wouldn't do that if I didn't enjoy it, but it's, this is the point at which you start to learn, okay, expression is good, but what do I really want to say to the rest of the world?
When it's hot, it's too hot and you can't get cool. When it's hard, it's too hard and you're playing a fool. When you're weak, you're too weak and you can't get strong. When you're waiting, you wait more and it's been too long. When you're scared, you're too scared and you can't be brave. When you're spending, you spend more and you just can't save. Just stop, sit down, it won't be long. Breathe deep and remember the words to this song. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. And if you wanna do it too, you say it with me. I've been down a few roads you don't wanna go. Found out a few things you don't wanna know. I've been blessed with a few fights you wouldn't predict. And I've been left with a few nicks and bruises and shit. And there've been times I looked up, saw nothing above. I've been broke up and beat down and wishing for love. I've been laid up in a bad bed with nowhere to hide. And I've been waked up in the morning having not yet died. When it's dark, it's too dark and I have no light, I just remember the words that I said in the night. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. And if you wanna do it too, you just say it with me. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am happy, I am strong, I am healthy, I am free. I am healthy, I am strong, I am happy, I am free. I am free, I am free, I am free, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. And if you wanna do it too, you just say it with me. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. And if you wanna do it too, you just say it with me. Oh, snap, all I gotta do is listen a bit and come back to the dream I was forgetting to get. Everything that ever happened was preparing for this, and I've been waiting for the day I could be sharing shit. So let me wait to sit down. Hey, listen to this. You make it start when you take part. Put up your fist. So come on, little missus, let me hear you resist. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I'm free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. If you wanna do it, you need to say with me. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. And if you wanna do it, you need to say it with me.
So the slam poetry, how much of that is that like a main catalyst whenever you're like writing? Would you create a beat and then come up with these hooks, or does it kind of feed off of each other?
It feeds off of each other. I mean, and then, people will notice as they're seeing what I do that I have some very disparate styles. I tend to write songs that are totally singing and kind of, I don't know if they're bluesy or what. And then I go all the way off into the word game and rap, and then I have, all the poetry stuff. So they tend to blend together, right? But it just depends on the piece itself, which part is dominant, Writing poems is a whole different ball of wax than writing lyrics, and writing lyrics, as far as I'm concerned, is actually a little bit harder because they have to be plain and they have to sing right. But, and normally if you look at a set of lyrics, it doesn't read too well on the page. It's not high art separated from the music. But at the same time, you can very easily anyone can snap judge right away, know that a set of lyrics is bad. And it's just an either or. It's just, this is good or not. And to me, lyric writing is tricky as tricky can be. Trickier even than writing raps, because raps are more complex. You can put stuff in there, you can mess with rhymes. You don't always have to make sense.
Right.
And then whereas lyrics, like actually just lyrics for a song, they're so boiled down that you've got to find those right words that are both very predictable and also somehow fresh. It's a weird thing, and they all play against each other, and it can mess with your head a little.
Absolutely, and I have a lot of respect for that. There's a reason why I stick to my instrumentals. Go that route. So there's one, is there anything that you want to say about any of these music videos? So especially, was it Woo? Is your lyric video? Like, honestly, like I see that and I kind of get like this white stripes kind of like approach from the just, you're like, I mean, I don't have, as you said, $20,000 lying around, so this is what I've got. Like, even the last White Stripes video is just like, it looks like they just end up like keep doing like adding like a new frame of like the drums, and like I see like what you're doing, and I kind of get that vibe. You're just like, let's make the most out of having the absolute least, and that's huge. That's like really respectable. It's really awesome to see, because there's it's very easy to get into your mindset that, oh, I don't have 20,000, so I mean I might as well just keep my day job. I mean, it's not like you're making thousands of dollars doing it, but what you're doing is you're saying, this is my voice, I need a platform.
Make the damn platform. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I've always been about. I mean, I like to call myself the MacGyver of recording, because I learned from some of the best. Two of my mentors were just amazing. One of my mentors, here in Albuquerque, Manny Rettinger, who ran Ubic Sound for years and years. He ran a studio that was a hole in the wall. I mean, and it was not some big commercial studio, but you went in there and you made real art. And he had, one of the things he did was was he was the main guy that would record Thomas Matfumo's band. Thomas Matfumo is a Zimbabwean artist who is the most famous Zimbabwean artist, basically. Okay. And not even basically, by far. And so Manny had this reputation for being able to make amazing records come out of this hole-in-the-wall studio, which from our point of view, that's the tradition. Like you said, the Beatles, Loud Tommy Dowd invented the damn fader because he was tired of turning knobs.
Right.
We come in there and we say, how do we get this, right? And we're not going to get stopped by, and nowadays, you're right, there's this tendency to have this kind of gear snobbery and, and
right.
You know, I have that to some degree. There's a limit sometimes, you know, so what I've done with my studio is just boil it down on what do I want to be able to do world class? What do I not need to be able to do? And then what can I just kludge? What can I put together? How can I build this? Yeah, like you said, and if you notice, you know, the White Stripes do have whatever budget they want. And you notice they're still doing that because I think that aesthetic has real value. And we know it has real value, say on Facebook, when you're trying to get people to look. People don't like commercial stuff. They don't like to be fed a music video and have it be obviously a company. They just scroll right by that stuff. So, you know, you do have to have something interesting to look at. They don't want to just look at some boring ass stupid head, but they're not likely to click on you if they think that you're the man, if you're like the money, right?
Yeah.
But if they look and they say, well, this is a person like me and they're being creative, then they want to see that. And so you see people like the White Stripes or other people making videos like that on purpose. You know, even though they have the option to just go out there and do it like the Weeknd and have cars and money and, you know, but it's so tricky because, you know, like the Woo video, here I go, I have the chalkboard. And I'm like, I have this chalkboard. Actually, I went and I said, what can I do for a lyric video that's not stupid? Okay, I'm going to get a chalkboard. And then I'm going to film myself writing it. And then, you know, you go, hey, that worked. And now all I want to do is do the chalkboard again. Right, but I can't. I did the chalkboard. So now what the hell do I do?
Looking at the clouds kinda spitting and storming as I fall through the sky at the top of the morning. Gotta move through the world, let me give you a warning. Gotta fix it, change it, tear the sucker tail, rearrange it, strange it. Never seemed impossible before, you know, so just keep it up, buck. You might just get a fat lip smack you back to the lack you felt back when you were smacking Jack. And everybody always asking if it pays or not, as if the only thing of value is a bank account. And yet, I value heat or steak and paid rent, so I'm on another plane trying to make it then. I need to speed up to catch up, I'm leaving myself behind. Even I can't keep up with my mind, so pay me what I'm worth, and I'll think about art when I'm sheltered and fed. Just pay me. I'll be high-minded and pure as soon as I'm sure that I'm not about to end up dead. Got you nodding like you got some Parkinson's. Pretty beats and the rhymes that I'm barking, son. Biting lines from the rain in the back of my brain, and I'm fluffy like a big old tire chain. Said I'm beating my head against a big fat piece of lead, hoping it'll split before my train goes dead. When I see a little crack, I step back and look at that, try to attack again, do it till it caves in. Watching me running away, feeling kinda stuck, hanging dead from the bottom of a turnip truck. Bump your head on the speed bumps, kinda like a drum, trailing blood in the mud from Katy to Houston. Better give me what I need or I won't be okay. So pay me what I'm worth, and I'll think about art when I'm sheltered and fed. Just pay me. I'll be high-minded and pure as soon as I'm sure that I'm not about to end up dead. Now I ain't no pop star, riding in a fancy red car. Everybody know who I are, baby gonna take me too far. But I've been choking to death since 75, when I first came alive. What you think it's a joke? I've got to keep this habit fed. On art I tread, I need the bread. So pay me what till the morning light just to see whether or not you might. Don't make me have to tell you twice. I've been leaving my light on night after night. Been back deep in these open oceans, bad world tracks and these backwards notions. Everything you have in the world is not enough to want to shorten the time I got. Even so, I rep for American forces. Handgun and tanks are replacing horses. And if you come back with enough, you might sleep a little better in your bed tonight. Come on. Lord, I'm waiting till the morning light just to see whether or not you might. Don't make me have to tell you twice. I've been leaving my light on night after night. I've been running from my bones for days, looking for another way I can say this to ya. I ain't really never coming home. They got another little trick in their bag of stones. They call it stop loss, and it means I ain't coming back. So make a little snap, a little better relax, and I'll give you a call when I'm over the wall. But we're gonna have to run, so fuck them all. Love, I'm waiting till the morning light just to see whether or not you might. Don't make me have to tell you twice. I've been leaving my light on night after night. There were too many ways I could die for you. There were too many days in my life for you. There were too many things I can do for you. What you do for me, what you do for me. She been spending her days making love for you. She been spending her life waiting up for me. What you do for me, what you do for me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, man. She got me built up past the break. Another bar around the hustle, I'm about to sing. Can't talk, can't swing, can't fly away. Can't get to the end of the right day. I got a castle in the blood and my bones of blood. Can't bang my brain on the land of stuff. And she eats these foods and I need the view. But I break this dude and I won't with you. Gonna slip away, gonna come to you. But you gotta remember that I won't be through. Gonna need your light to remain revealed. Gotta leave this war on the battlefield. I'm waiting till the morning light just to see whether or not you might. Don't make me have to tell you twice. I've been leaving my light all night after night. Love, I'm waiting till the morning light just to see whether or not you might. Don't make me have to tell you twice. I've been leaving my light all night after night. Love, I'm waiting till the morning light just to see whether or not you might. Don't make me have to tell you twice. I've been leaving my light all night after night. Love, I'm waiting till the morning light just to see whether or not you might.
Before we end up signing off, where can people find your music? Like, how can people reach out to you, if they enjoy what they ended up hearing, seeing, would like to purchase any music, would like to reach out about maybe...
Just come to aarontrumm.com. I'm sure Chris will put this on the screen and post. aarontrumm.com will give you everything you need. You can also check me out on Facebook at Aaron J. Trumm. I'm on Twitter too, but if you want to talk to me, more likely to talk to me on Facebook. And those two things will give you everything you need. There's a free album, a free digital album with all kinds of goodies and lyrics and video and stuff that if you go to my homepage and sign in, put your email in there, you'll get it automatically. And then you can email me directly and talk if you want.
Excellent. All right. Well, we will definitely end up making that happen. One last thing. What are your plans for 2021?
We'll see, man. I sent you one of my latest song, just the demo version, throwing it down live. And I think the first thing I'm doing is trying to produce that. So
I was digging that.
What happens. And feedback, if you want any feedback on that song, tell me what you think I should do with it. You, Chris, everybody watching, go ahead. I want to hear the ideas.
Absolutely. We'll make it happen. All right, Aaron. So I'm very sad that we weren't able to do this in person, but again, safety is number one. We can still share our art. We can still share our voice. I'm glad that were at least able to do this interview. We appreciate you signing in, and we'll definitely be keeping in touch. All right.
You too, Chris. Have fun, man.
All right. Thanks. You too.
Peace. Let's see if I can do it. Missing by me. Looked okay. Those took a trip through. God, so hard. Said I'm gonna try to. Okay, I know what to do now. Okay, so and then this is the take. No, this is the take. Spitting wicked. Oh, okay. We're gonna try again. Take 100 million. Okay. Take 100,000. Take 100 million. Oh, well, what do you do when you come? Well, see, I wanted to do it like, yeah, when you have no click track, you have to do the whole thing. Take 100,000 million. Oh, seriously, it takes a lot. Take 4. The what? Oh. Take 1. Well, what? Of the. Oh. What the? Rock my spaceship base, but don't think too much. City. Okay. On the white. Oh. If you want a little edge, you can beat me in the head, you can kick me in the bread, but I'll never get a lead brick in my rubric. I know you're too sick, everything you're telling me is evilly gritty. Give me this, give me that, putting on a top hat, working like a dog, but I'm loving it like that. And all I gotta do is make a little room for the doom to get out the door, skid along the floor, and I could be more than the Lord that you adore. And if I want that, I'm gonna make that, and everybody run to the edge of the world and have fun. It don't matter what they say, I'm too cool to let it lay. If you're ugly, stay away, 'cause I'm happy every day. And it don't matter what they say, I'm too cool to let it lay. If you're ugly, stay away, 'cause I'm happy every day. Now will you give me the picture of a man who's been working the plan? Don't everybody talk at once, even if you can. Waking up in the morning out of bed before the family, giving a lift and a split, and you're a hit, but you know that. I knew that you knowed it. We all asked you to show when you done showed it. Bully for you, little dude, I wanna see you do it. Give it to me living like you're never gonna live again, and I can't wait to begin, because I know I'm gonna win. It don't matter what they say, I'm too cool to let it lay. If you're ugly, stay away, 'cause I'm happy every day. And it don't matter what they say, I'm too cool to let it lay. If you're ugly, stay